Hey everyone, Josh here, WarGamingNewb Historical, back with another hobby vlog. This time around I am prepping for the Pacific campaign for Bolt Action. Before I show off what I've worked on in terms of that particular project, I wanted to go over the February 2024 project list. I made a couple updates on here, and I'm going to show off what I actually completed and what I'm hoping to complete by the end of February. So, we saw this a couple weeks ago. I'm not going to be focusing on Hail Caesar anytime soon. Again, what's bolded in red is the long-term project for the year, as well as, just trying to get through 100 Years War and completing some of that stuff so I can do a Hail Caesar. For Pike and Shot, I am actually redirecting my efforts from the 28mm scale to epic battles. I've recently picked up a few battalia for English Civil War, and I figure since I've already double dipped into English Civil War, I'm just going to focus my efforts on completing the epic scale versions and going from there. I also got some terrain, and will hopefully do a slow grow into both a parliamentarian and royalist army for each side. The wonderful thing about epic scale or anything that's smaller scale than 25mm or 28mm is that I can get more onto the table, or even and if anything, work with less space in order to have a fully fledged battle going on. Again, Burgundian Wars, it's bolded in red. That's my long-term project for the year as well. For Black Powder, I'm really going to focus on trying to get more done for this year. Obviously, I have that Russian starter that I want to complete so that I have a fuller army, a fuller version of the Russian army for the table. It's never going to be as big as some other folks because I don't have the space. But at least I can have more units on the table if I complete that starter. What's not listed here is I do have the Waterloo British starter. So at some point I may add this to the list for the year. But in terms of not getting overwhelmed, I want to do the Russian starter. Want to do some peninsular campaign. I do have the Perry French 1807 to 1814 battalion. I have Vive l'Empereur battalion, and now the Over the Hills and Faraway battalion, which you guys saw unboxed recently. What I will be focusing on, and hopefully getting some of it done by the end of the month, is the Portuguese Line battalion. I need to get that out of my backlog, and then that'll kind of push things into the peninsular my Black Powder project. So hopefully that'll be the case. Moving on to Bolt Action, Conflict 47, I am ramping up the Pacific campaign. I have finally cracked open the assault box and have started pulling sprues in preparation for a 200-point firefight team for both the Japanese and the Marines. I already have a box of Marines built up. I just need to paint them. But for the Japanese, I don't. Other than the weapons team that I completed, I need to start building up the Japanese for Bolt Action. And I'm going to start off with making a 6-man squad, because that's the minimum for the Japanese, and then an officer with an assistant or bodyguard. Again, with the U.S. Marines, it'll be a 5-man squad, officer and assistant, and at that point, after all that's painted, with the inclusion of the Marines weapons team that I just completed, which we'll see shortly, and the Japanese weapons team that I completed during the January paint challenge for Mini Warmut, I have more than enough figures to do a firefight. That said, for Conflict 47, I really just need to finish painting the Panther X as well as the extra Panther turret so that I can use it for Bolt Action and Conflict 47. I have primed the turrets. I have not primed the body of the Panther. Moving on to Soviets. Eventually, I do want to start spinning in some Soviets. I do have a Soviet backlog. I've recently purchased the Soviet weapons team. You guys saw that unboxing. I also got the Winter Soviets weapons team, so I'll be unboxing that shortly, as well as painting it up. And then with those, I'll need to get a 5 to 8-man squad and an officer with his assistant, and then I could use that for firefight. And if I build up enough, eventually a full-blown Bolt Action battle report. So, anyway, that is the update for the project list. I want to show off what I have painted. that's where we're going to end the vlog.
All right, so first up, we have two Soviet figures here. This is an officer from the support team for the Soviets for bolt action. It is a warlord figure. I'm going to use him as an NCO for Conflict 47 for the Siberian Terror Squad, because the last guy I have on that squad is missing a hand, and I will need an NCO for that squad, so this kind of worked out. Let me see if I can get a little bit closer. Okay, the other figure is a Stussie's Heroes Ludmila Pavlichenko, or at least the Lady Death figure. It doesn't actually say Ludmila Pavlichenko, but we know who it is. I actually had quite a bit of fun painting both of these, and I think they turned out all right. All right, the main show for this vlog is the U.S. Marines weapons teams that I completed. I did this last week. First up, we have the sniper team right here, and then the bazooka team, and then the flamethrower team. I feel that these guys turned out pretty well enough for the table at least. And because I have this weapons team and the Japanese weapons team completed, that's what pretty much spurred me on to start doing Pacific stuff. It is definitely a part of the war that I've been wanting to do for a while, and what better way than to have some painted figures to get started. So, all right, yeah. Final shot. I got both weapons teams up, just using this as motivation to get the rest of the forces built for a firefight. We'll do a pass through. I'm very pleased with how these turned out, and I'm looking forward to doing the regular squads and officers so that I can do a firefight pretty soon. Anyway, if you like this video, go ahead and click like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I appreciate it if you would. Click the bell notification icon to get notified of all new hobby vlog coming out of the channel. And then click the link in the description below to join our Discord server. That's the best way I can personally interact with you and chit-chat you about bolt action and any other game that I cover on the channel. That's it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more hobby vlog from WarGamingNewb Historical.